All right, I'm gonna install the battery straps real quick. And there we go. Very quick, very easy, even though it took me 10 minutes, but you guys will never know. I'm just kidding. Welcome back to Innovation RC, guys. And this is gonna be part 3 of our Hobao Hyper adventure. Now, if you haven't seen the other 2 videos, the first video we did a base run of just, you know, really what the car is, and we did a little review. Did about 50 miles an hour, so that was a pretty decent drive, and we even made a little bit of smoke. Part 2 was running this beautiful GTR, hoping to hit 100+ miles an hour, in which we did, but it kind of went up in the air, which really isn't good. Today is going to be part 3, where we are going to change a major thing that's going to make a big difference when it comes to speed running. Now, if you guys don't know carbon fiber and carbon fiber chassis, we're going to be installing it today on the beautiful Hobao Hyper GTB GTR. Whoa! Courtesy of Island Hobby Nut. Thanks, Ozzy. I really appreciate you sending this guy out to me, and we're gonna further continue the build on this guy right here. Pop in the hood. I'm gonna show you guys that this is still the same exact setup and all that. If you guys recall, our overdrive gears, spool, our BLX 2050 kV motor. It's your standard 8th scale size motor. It's not incredibly big, nothing crazy, but it's still a pretty good motor. On the other side, we have our Mamba Monster X8S by Castle Creations. This is a one and done ESC, and it's a very, very good ESC, especially for this size and scale. Now, if you guys can see, there is so much more car all the way here, all the way here. There's a lot of air coming up, and that was also the reason why it flipped. There's just so much air coming underneath this body. It literally parachuted. So even though that we broke 103 miles an hour, that is still not too impressive, honestly. There's a lot of room for air to get under and get caught. The carbon fiber chassis is actually gonna block a lot of that out. Being that it's gonna be a lot wider, it's gonna prevent all the air that's actually gonna come underneath here. And you guys can see all that space right there. Woo! There we are. Now again, I'll say it, I really, really appreciate, and I do thank Island Hobby Nut for setting this beautiful guy right here out to me. I'm really happy that I could do a project like this. It's such a well-built car. It really means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you once again. Now, if you guys don't know Island Hobby Nut, they have a massive, massive store in New York. It's also an online store as well. So if you guys are in New York, definitely check them out. Now, before I hop into this, I'm gonna break down the whole car, and I'm gonna just set up the chassis to be rebuilt, which is gonna be part 4. So make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, because I'm taking you on a little journey to make this thing that's already pretty cool and good into something absolutely spectacular in the long run. Also, if you haven't seen Innovation RC on Instagram, make sure you check it out. We'll have more pictures, videos, and other cool things on there that'll drop on there before YouTube. So what I'm gonna do is completely break this guy down right here. For time's sake, we're gonna time lapse this. Without any further ado, let's hop into this. look at the difference in both of these chassis, guys. Bone stock in Ironman RC, widened carbon fiber GT chassis. The carbon chassis is like a whole nother millimeter thick, if not 2. I can't tell exactly, but it's definitely thicker. That is crazy. And there's another like 3-4 inches on each side of clearance, just enough to put any single battery that you're gonna want. So we have our Mamba Monster X8 SESC. We have our whole center diff / motor mount housing and all that. We have our steering servo from Power Hobby. We have our Futaba receiver and a fan. I don't even know if I'm going to go with all these wires or the extensions, so that's why it's all coming out. Whole car is going to be redone, so keep that in mind. So we just need to really break every single thing down, including even the straps. This is what came stock for the most part. I brought a few extra of the straps that I had at home in. These are the very, very long Arrma ones, so yeah, I think there's like 24 inches at least on this. So what I'm gonna do actually is put one long one on this side so it holds the battery front and back. Additionally on this side, bone stock battery strap over there. We have another one over here. There's number 3, and it doesn't come with 4 on the single battery trays, so I do have to thank G at the local hobby shop. You know who I'm talking about. Much appreciated. All right, I'm gonna install the battery straps real quick. And there we go. Very quick, very easy, even though it took me 10 minutes, but you guys will never know. I'm just kidding. Now we are finally back up to the assembly part, and make sure you subscribe so you can see next video, because we're going to be reassembling the whole GTR back onto this guy right here. I'm just so hyped to install everything, especially this 1721 2400 kV speed run / drag motor. I still don't really know what I want to do with this car, but I'm pretty sure this motor will be able to satisfy me. Whether or not I want to do drag or speed run, it's not going to matter. This motor is going to be bad to the ass no matter what I do with it, as long as I gear it appropriately. So make sure you stay tuned for part 4 coming up next. Alrighty, so as always guys, make sure you stay safe and have a good one.